Lord said to Joshua, "Get up." Full stop.
What book is this?
It's the book of Joshua.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Joshua needs to get up, I guess.
Joshua needs to get up.
Get the
Why have you
fuck
fallen?
up, Joshua.
He fell on his face in Israel.
I am fallen.
It's gonna be an interesting one. I have toast.
Oh, you got toast?
I have toast.
Nice.
Ready? Listen to this. Listen to this. Ready?
Toasty.
Nice. It's got a Discord audio filter, so we heard like a crunch and then nothing, and then a crunch and then nothing. So how was you guys' sleep last night?
Pretty well. I slept pretty well. I slept pretty good and had my alarms set and woke up at 6:15, turned my alarms off, went back to bed.
Because
it's Monday and my normal work alarms were on.
Yeah.
Forgot about that, so...
Understandable.
I woke up really, really warm for some reason. I don't know what that was about.
I
was sweating.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
It's honestly what I hate about summer so much. It seems like the daytime is so... I mean, I like it, but I also hate it. It's like the daytime is so hot, but the nighttime is like so cold.
What?
You know? Like it's just really hot during the day, and then at night it seems like it's freezing.
I don't feel the same way.
Oh.
No, not in the summer. No. What? Do you remember the whole fucking conversation, like walking around outside bare feet in the summer? Like, that's because it's warm outside.
It just seems like during the day in the summer it's warm outside, but then as soon as the sun goes down, it's like freezing. Like it might as well be winter.
What the fuck are you on about? Like, what the what?
Maybe it's just a me thing.
That's
we don't
like,
need to talk about it.
It's like the way you look at time, man.
What do you mean?
Time goes slower when you get older, apparently.
Is it not?
Oh my god! Like, have you like lost your memory of every single podcast that we've ever done? What?
No,
maybe
not
it's
all.
just too early.
It's really early, man. Whose
Funny,
idea was this?
Just funnily enough, that another podcast that I listened to referenced this. The fact that time goes faster as you get older. It feels like it relatively because of the fact that each year is less of your lifetime as each year goes by. I don't know how we've circled back to that conversation. If you're 30, 1 year of your life is 1/30th of your life. That's a lot less than if you're 5. And you've not experienced, like if you're 5 years old, you've only experienced 1 year that was your full life, a second year that was half of your life, a third year that was 1/3 of your life, and the fourth year that's now 1/4 of your life. That's going to seem like an eternity because the only experience that you've only experienced is the only experience that you've already experienced. It just feels like a year is a bigger chunk of time because relatively it is compared to you because you are the frame of reference.
Well, I'm almost on my toast. Cinnamon raisin.
Nice. Peanut butter?
No, just regular butter.
You can't put peanut butter on
That's the thing.
Cinnamon raisin.
Yeah. Peanut butter on cinnamon raisin is amazing. You're missing out.
Not a big peanut butter guy.
Okay, but even people that aren't big peanut butter guys have agreed with me.
Name one.
People.
People on normal toast is good. People? I said people. Peanut butter.
People on toast is good.
People on normal toast.
Yeah, that too, but I'm talking about peanut butter.
Yesterday. So here's my thing with peanut butters. I don't like peanut butter, but I like peanut butter flavored things.
It's like the opposite of me with chocolate.
Oh, really? You don't like chocolate, but you like chocolate flavored things. Oh no, you hate chocolate flavored things, but you like chocolate.
Yeah, like I'll never get like a chocolate milkshake or anything chocolate flavored or like chocolate cake. It's all fucking shit. But chocolate, oh, it's so good. Chocolate covered almonds are so fucking good. Just that
Oh,
little bit of like to offset the fucking sweetness. So yummy.
mm-hmm. Another good one is chocolate flavored blue or chocolate dipped like blueberries. I like those ones.
I've
They're good.
never had that before.
Yeah, me
Oh.
neither.
You can get them in like a little box.
Like
Frozen.
chocolate covered almonds.
No, it's like the blueberry. They're like dehydrated blueberries. They're dipped in like
Oh, I feel like I've had. No, I think that was yogurt covered though. Never mind.
oh.
I've had yogurt covered dehydrated blueberries.
Did you guys
Those are
ever
good.
used to take like the yogurt tubes and like shove them in the freezer and then suck on them all frozen?
I've got a story about a yogurt tube. I've got a friend in elementary school. My buddy Hayden had yogurt tubes. He always had a yogurt tube in his lunch, and he was always like a troublemaker. He would just shake around. One time in particular, he was holding his yogurt tube, making a ruckus and like swinging it around in his hand. It was still sealed, but then he slammed it on a desk, and then it just blew out the front and splattered all over the front of the teacher's desk and all over the top of the teacher's desk. That was hilarious because I think he had to like clean it up. And then there was another instance where he was just throwing the yogurt tube and it got stuck on the light. It was on the light, like no one ratted it out or like no one mentioned the teacher about it. No one told the teacher. So I'm pretty sure it stayed up there until like the end of the year, but like I remember because I remember looking for it in that the same year and seeing it still up there, but I was taken down at some point because I was in the same classroom like years later down the road and I couldn't see it up there. So obviously at some point they found it, but yeah, that there was a yogurt tube on top of a light bulb in my elementary school for like a good part of a year.
What do you mean on top of a light bulb?
Not a light bulb, I guess, like a light fixture. You know those uh yeah, I guess it's not like a normal school because I guess normal lights are in the wall. They're like sort of suspended. They're hanging down by these aircraft cables on either side, essentially. And they went the full length of the classroom, and there was like probably 3 or 4 different rows of them. So he just threw it, and it just landed on top of one of those.
So the thing is, those lights get pretty hot, don't they?
I mean, the bulb itself, yeah. Like I said, I did say the bulb earlier, but it wasn't actually. I don't think it was touching any of the bulbs. It was just sitting on like the plastic on the top of it, like on the back, on the top side of it, because the top side of it's just. I think it was just a white plastic sheet, essentially, reflecting the light downward. So it was just on top of that. So it would definitely get warm, but I don't think it would get too hot per se. But
If
I mean,
it's on the
it is
bulb, it probably would have exploded.
yeah, maybe.
Someone would have just been
I feel like it
walking
would have
by.
just melted.
Yeah, it probably like the plastic would like melt a little hole in the plastic, or the yogurt inside would start like bubble or like boiling or something ridiculous. I don't know. I'm no chemist. I'm no scientist. I don't know what happens when things get hot. They move fast. But that was
Um,
that. That was my yogurt tube experience. Other than that, recently I've been grabbing yogurts in my Happy Meals when I get hot cakes as a Happy Meal because it's cheaper.
you actually get what? Why don't you just make pancakes? That's the cheapest.
I mean that's true, but that would involve making the pancakes.
Right. Okay. See, I feel like you can never get mad at me for how I spend my money again.
What do you mean?
Well, you're upset that I was wanting to buy a new car, but yet you can't go make food?
I mean, it's like $4 for a fucking no. It's like $5 for like a hotcakes Happy Meal with a drink and a hash brown. It's
They're a little
not
different.
it's not a bad deal. And so like if I'm making pancakes myself, the pancakes are super cheap. I don't have hash browns though. I can't really get I can make hash browns, but they're not gonna be as good as the fucking McDonald's hash browns. It's like that's like the little treat on the side. And then I get my little yogurt tube.
Not a fan of hash browns. You can go without them.
I fucking
Hold on.
I
I'll be right
used to.
back. Just cut myself, so I gotta go deal with that.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the intro. Welcome.
Or you can just go.
Arguably.
What
Oh,
the
okay.
fuck? Why would we? Yeah, that was such a terrible fucking segue into the intro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay,
Oof.
hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. I fixed it.
Or just something like that will happen, and we'll just forget about it in the future.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Did you guys lose power recently?
No.
No, I heard other places did, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's lucky. My girlfriend's mom lives on an island, and you know, like those propane heaters that people have on their balcony or like their outside seating areas so they can stay warm.
Yeah.
That got caught by like a gust of wind and like flipped over her balcony and was like just
Oh, shit.
suspended by the power cable.
Shit.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's some wind.
it was crazy.
When? Yeah. What the fuck? When was that?
It was like
Like
this past week.
Tuesday or Wednesday or something. It was going crazy out there.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I actually, yeah, I did. I was hearing like wind through. I mean, obviously through the walls of my house, but it's just, yeah, it was pretty nasty for a while there.
I love the wind. I was outside like as much as I could be.
What does that mean? You love the wind?
When it's windy out there, I love it.
You're so peculiar. Like, why don't you just enjoy good weather? I was hanging out with Jake the other day and it was raining, and he's like, "Oh, it's so nice out." I'm like,
It was nice.
it was raining.
Yeah, I had an umbrella, so I was happy. It was nice.
No one goes outside and is like, "Ah, yes, it's raining. Perfect. Let's spend the day outside."
You
Weather's
would be
lovely.
incorrect, my friend.
Who does that?
You literally already have your figure A.
Okay, yeah. So who are you doing that with? Like, why are you the way you are? Explain. Like,
I don't need to
what do you
explain.
enjoy doing in that weather outdoors?
Sunburns are overrated.
Yeah, so you'd just rather be wet.
Umbrella
Sunscreen.
under my umbrella.
SPF 5000.
Yeah. No, I'm okay. I like
So
the
you'd rather
clouds.
be
It's nice right now.
you'd rather be out in the rain than out in the sun.
I think I'd rather be inside. Either way,
Oh.
but yeah,
I feel like you don't get to talk about the weather then.
I like the wind and I like the cloudiness
I
and
feel like you need to quit your fucking gatekeeping today. Holy shit.
What do you mean?
You're
I
just
don't
like,
get to
"Oh,
talk about the
yeah."
weather, huh?
Yeah, you're just like, oh, you don't get an opinion on this subject because I deem
Well-
yours invalid.
It's not that. It's just I don't. Yeah, I just don't get it. He's just
it's
like,
not that, but it is.
It's because you don't get it that it just doesn't matter.
it's just. It's. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's just. You know. It's. Yeah. It's. Yeah. You know. It's just. I don't think if I was looking for advice weather related, I'd come to you.
I wouldn't go to you either. I wouldn't get
Oh,
weather
look at-
advice. What? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
What do you mean?
Have you ever gone on a hike in the rain?
Ah.
No.
No. Well, you're missing out there too.
What in the
Get the whole place to yourself. It's nice.
A whole
Oh
place?
my.
A
Yeah.
hike is not like. What do you mean? How
You
crowded
won't.
are the
You
hikes
won't
that
come.
you go on?
They can be pretty crowded, especially in the middle of summer. That's
Also,
usually
you
when
told
people
me
want to
you're
go on
not doing
hikes.
like you're not doing like real hikes. You're just going on like walks.
No, I'm not talking about walks. I'm talking about
Where-
hikes.
Where have you hiked?
Oh
I'm
my
just thinking about
God.
the chief, right? Like first and foremost, last time Jake and I went to the chief, there was so many people on the trail. Like,
Yeah,
it was like we
but
had,
it was sunny as fuck.
yeah, and we like what we did in order to avoid the people is we just went off of the trail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the
But
best
it
way
would
to
have
go
been
hiking.
nice to have been able to use the trail because we were just running through the bushes and shit.
Okay, but would you have wanted to use the trail in the downpouring rain? Especially the chief. You know how slippery that would be?
Yeah, the Chiefs one I probably wouldn't want to do in the rain just because like there's some steep parts and there's some just rock that would probably get slippery. But no, there's some other hikes that are pretty good that are yeah.
Come with all your rain gear on.
I
You
mean,
go.
I just had like a rain jacket and that was it.
I found out this year that everything I knew about waterproofing was wrong.
Oh, well, what did you know about waterproofing?
Well, I have like quite a few jackets that I guess are like considered windbreakers, like the windbreaker material type of thing, just the thin like plasticky material. And I thought those were waterproof jackets. Apparently they're not. They're just yeah, they're just water repellent or water resistant, but like if it's downpouring and you're outside for an extended period of time, you will get wet underneath.
Yeah.
So I don't own an actual rain jacket per se. And I don't think I could pick one out. Like I just don't know what that material even looks like.
Damn.
Do you get? Yeah, I don't. I don't think I have one either. I mean,
A little
yeah,
unnecessary.
yeah, because like when it's raining a shit ton like that, I'm usually not in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just
But you won't come to
business
me
do
for
you,
advice about weather either, so you know, whatever. It
but
doesn't
what
even
business
matter.
do you have being in the rain for that long?
What?
Like it
I
just
think that's a valid question.
there's no reason to be in the rain for that long.
To do stuff.
The
What do you
most
mean?
enjoyable things to do outside are less enjoyable when it's raining.
Disagree.
What is better to do outside in the rain?
I already said the hikes. The hikes
No,
are great.
because and then the first hike that we talked about, you said that one wouldn't be good in the
The
rain.
chief? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Ones with slippery rocks, maybe not, but
I feel like that's most hikes.
I don't know about that.
But even still, it would be more enjoyable in the sun on a nicer day. Maybe not like the beating hot sun, but a little bit of overcast here and there. Maybe around 20 degrees, 20 to like 15 to 20 degrees, something like that. That's prime hike.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I was outside for hours and hours on end in the pouring rain, other than maybe like a couple hours for like electrical work. Other than that, it's still shitty because it was raining and would have been much better without rain. Like
Yeah,
I can't
Jake. You
remember what being out in the rain intentionally or just like being outside in the rain other than being forced to be.
I mean, you guys are also like just throwing down the word like downpouring and all that shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about some rain. Some
Yeah, I
nice
mean, I'm talking
cloudy
about
weather with a bit of rain and like I'm not
yeah,
gonna go when it's pouring rain and I can't even hear the people beside me because it's fucking too loud.
yeah. I'm
but you
talking about
still have
needing a waterproof jacket rather than a windbreaker. So that's what I was talking about.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about too.
Okay, a waterproof jacket's good for some light rain.
So is a windbreaker.
Is
I'm
it?
talking
Yeah, because I haven't needed a more than a windbreaker
well,
because I haven't been
until
outside in the rain for hours on
Well,
end.
yeah, because you don't actually go outside in the rain, really.
Yeah, so what time would I be going out in a downpour for hours on end? If
I
it's
couldn't
lightly
tell you, man.
raining,
Sounds like
if
you
it's lightly
want to avoid it.
raining, then I won't need a rain jacket.
but even for you, Jake, like when are you doing that?
Going out in the rain?
When are you enjoying being in the rain more than it being sunny? What activities to you is more enjoyable in the rain? I refuse to believe the hike thing. I don't think that you think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You just don't believe me, sure.
Just it doesn't make sense. You're just being silly.
Okay.
Like
I mean,
what?
the main thing I enjoy about the rain is being inside when it's raining. Like, I like being inside when it's raining, and I like
Yeah,
being
but then you
inside
gotta.
when it's snowing because I'm nice and cozy inside and I'm not outside.
But if you're inside and it's raining, you're not looking out the window going, "Oh, it's a nice day out. It's good
No,
weather.
but
This is good
I'm
weather."
looking outside and be like, oh, I'm nice and cozy because it's really shitty out there and really cozy in here.
Exactly, because it's shitty. But Jake sees rain and then looks out the window and goes, "Oh, what a lovely day! I'll go for a hike."
I mean, I can see it still being enjoyable weather, but I wouldn't be going outside intentionally in the rain because it's raining unless I'm like, cause like you could like going for a run or going for like a jog in the rain is something that's enjoyable, but it's not really something that I do very often. But when I was doing like my jogs like every day, it was when it was raining, it was just like, oh, it wasn't a deterrent because it was just like being refreshed as you run. So I see that argument, when he says hiking, because it's sort of the same sort of thing. But I think the discrepancy in this whole argument is the severity of the downpour, the severity of the precipitation. Like, I don't think Jake's saying that necessarily he likes being outside when it's a flash flood. But when there is a flash flood outside, then I think it's really cool and enjoyable to be inside. And I still enjoy the weather. Like, I like it being raining. I just don't want to be in the rain if it's too bad. But, like, if it's like a light drizzle, then yeah, going for a jog or a hike could be enjoyable too.
I like driving when it's pouring, like when it's storming. You have like the wipers going as fast as they can in order to see. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you also don't like driving safely. So I feel like that shit, you just like enjoy that because it adds another layer of danger to driving that you just don't consider.
But I don't think that's true. I drive very safe.
I mean, last time we were talking about this, it appeared that your field of vision is limited to about 30 feet in front of you, or less than that. It seemed. I don't even know. You said you weren't even looking across intersections. Yeah. You were not looking at the road. You're just looking at what movies are in theater right now. Looking at what the price is at the shawarma shop.
I'll look across the intersection. You have to in order to see like what color the light is.
You do.
But if in the terms of a torrential downpour, you can't see that far in front of you anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're still... I don't know.
Welcome to Arguably a Podcast. I'm Jake.
I'm Liam. Wow. And I'm also tired.
Yeah, the idea was it to do a morning one.
Yeah.
Dumb idea.
I'm also, pretty upset with Shalom right now.
Yeah?
Pretty fucking... Well, yeah. So, a couple episodes ago, he was like, oh, Jake came over and broke my Rubik's Cube and my roommate is livid. And, so I solved it for him. That. And, it wasn't broken. I actually did just end up fixing it when I went over there, because it was broken when I got there. And, yeah. So, it was never broken. He threw a fit for a fixed Rubik's Cube that I came and fixed. No thanks, also. Just upsettage, or whatever the word would be.
You happy now, Jake?
I am happy now, yeah. Yep.
You're there?
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you guys think about, like, puzzles? Just regular, like, jigsaw puzzles?
Hold on. We can't just, like, leave that after it being such a part of the last couple episodes.
I don't think there's much to talk about it, really. It's just, it's done.
What? So why? So you just couldn't solve it just because? And then...
Just because you can't solve it anyways, yeah.
Well, no. So, basically, what happened is he came over, he messed with it. He didn't say that he messed with it.
By fixing it, yep.
Then my roommate's girlfriend looked at it, and, like, she was fiddling around with it, and she's like, oh, it's unsolvable because one of the pieces are spun. And I was like, oh. So then I asked Jake if he spun one of the pieces, and he said yes. I was like, oh, well, it's a shame because now it's not solvable. And I talked about it on here. And Jake was like, okay, so, like, send me a video of the Rubik's Cube and tell me, like, what's what, and we'll figure out which piece needs to be spun back. And for the record, Jake also didn't solve it. He put it into a Rubik's Cube solver online. And then solved
How's that different?
How's that different?
Yeah.
You didn't try to have the Rubik's Cube solved on yourself. Like,
I literally gave you the way to solve it.
Right, but you had to put it into a program to solve it.
Yeah, and?
Like, you couldn't solve it on your own.
Why does that matter? Your impressed level matters for whether or not I broke your Rubik's Cube?
No, not mine. I'm just trying to tell the full level of the story.
Oh, but that's like a huge point in the story is that I used a program to fucking solve your Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
So,
no.
and in determining that the Rubik's Cube was unsolvable, you just didn't like check that or verify that in any way, shape, or form?
No, that'd be too much work,
My
remember?
my verification was the person that I know who's able to solve Rubik's cubes wasn't able to solve it.
Uh,
And then
well,
when I came over and solved your Rubik's Cube,
First of all, you didn't come over. I don't know why you keep saying that's a thing that you did. You weren't there. I had to put a level, like I had to put just as much
I'm
effort
talking
into
about the
solving
first
this thing.
time.
Oh yeah, the first time you didn't come over to solve it either. You broke it the first time.
No, I fixed it the first time. It was broken the first time.
yeah. Now that we've established the fact that the Rubik's Cube seems to have never been broken in any point in this cycle because clearly it's solvable with the corners in any fucking position. Because if it was only twisted once and never again, then and it's solvable now and it was solvable before, then what I think happened is maybe your friend's not so good at solving Rubik's cubes and more practice in memory and the exact patterns that the cube was spun in unsolved. But I mean, I don't know. I
It did.
I feel like you went a little bit too hard there.
Just now?
No, the other episode. Without actually gaining a basis on what the status of the Rubik's Cube was. Because in the state that the Rubik's Cube was in during that episode, it was not broken. It wasn't in a broken state. It was just in an unsolved state.
I was under the impression that it was in a broken state.
Yeah, but you have the ability to verify that.
Well, here is how I verified it. I didn't realize that you could just twist a Rubik's cube and still have it be solvable. So I feel like I did as much verification as I needed to because
Well, clearly
the
you didn't
roommate.
because you didn't
Oh,
fucking figure it out.
hold on. The roommate, the one person who I knew was able to solve Rubik's cube, said they couldn't solve it. So that was my initial thought for what happened. And then I asked Jake if he spun one of the pieces. And he said he did, which led me to believe it was unsolvable.
So they never said it was unsolvable, they just said that they could not solve it.
No, they told me it was unsolvable because they could not solve it.
Well,
Then Jake also told me he had broke it.
I did not say I broke it. I never said I broke it, and I told you
Jake?
that I didn't break it last time because it's not broken. It's a fucking Rubik's Cube.
Jake told me he had spun one of the pieces.
Yeah, to solve it. And then I solved it. Remember, I showed you it. It was all
Didn't
perfectly
say-
done.
You never said to solve it. You
No,
said you
but I
spun-
showed you it.
You said you spun one of the pieces.
Yeah.
I didn't know at what point the piece was spun.
Oh. Well, I accept your apology, and you're welcome for fixing your Rubik's Cube that was never broken.
Thanks.
Yeah,
About
about time.
time, dude. It was a week ago.
Yeah, I know. A week without thanks.
A week without a working Rubik's cube.
wrong.
You realize how stupid you sound. I hope.
I mean, I don't know, we've come this far.
Yeah.
I just love ruffling some feathers. It's a happiness I get.
I get a happiness from this discourse. It's a painful happiness. It hurts. It hurts, but it's also funny. On another note, I'm not sure if you wanted to bring up whatever you were trying to segue into before I caught you by the wheel.
I don't remember what it was, but let's do your thing.
Alright, well, basically, I was just about to mention, like, the overall state of the market, like stocks and cryptocurrency and collectibles and all that sort of thing. It's, if you're somebody who has a bunch of holdings in, like, anything right now, pretty much, except for, like, the few rare standouts, everyone's getting crushed right now. Like everything's getting crushed pretty much like from every market and every corner. Crypto seems to be getting hit the hardest. Then like the stock market's crumbled. And then on top of that, you've got your other markets like I don't think real estate has actually come down much in price, whereas it's just the supply. Everyone's trying to fucking sell right now, and so nothing is selling because everyone's trying to sell and nobody wants to buy. And then on top of that, it's just like the whole collectible market where like everything is doing its own thing in the whole collectible market. You've got everything that was exploding in 2020 with like the old vintage Pokemon shit. That's come down in price half or more, like so much. It's crazy. So I'm not sure how involved you guys are with any of that. So I'll just I want to ask and see, like, do you guys have any involvement or interest? Do you guys pay attention to any of that stuff?
I have one share that I check on like once a month.
Okay, so you get a little bit of stock holding. Fair
An
enough.
airline company.
What is it?
An airline company.
Oh, interesting. That's I actually own some Air Canada, and I don't think they've done well since I picked them up. Although,
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got too.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Although, it's pretty funny because there are certain things in like every market that seems to be performing well right now, and one of those things is modern Pokemon. Like you wouldn't really think of it, but modern Pokemon is doing a lot better relatively than vintage Pokemon right now because like the huge explosion of vintage in 2020, 21, people are people are getting out, and so everyone who was like in the hobby for like quick flips and that sort of thing, they're all sort of they've already gone basically. And so everyone who's still in the hobby right now are basically people who are in it for the long term. So for somebody like me, I'm just seeing everything on sale. Like everything's going on sale right now, and I just want to buy. But the thing is, of course, you gotta limit yourself at some point, right? So
Yeah, wouldn't right now be a bad time to sell?
yeah. But the thing is, people don't think rationally. People
Yeah, it
think
just sounds like
emotionally.
everyone's in like panic mode or something. They see the numbers go down, they're like
Yeah.
adding to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, I've been accumulating to my sealed Pokemon position, but also just because I've been trying to get some more of the recent set that I want to open up. And then I've actually started, and you can have your opinion however you want on the matter, but I've started dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrency at like a very, very small amount incrementally. Like I'm probably gonna dollar cost average in like for the next like year and a half or two with at least the money that I have in that account. And so it's like I'm gonna be dollar costing averaging in very, very, very slowly. And so I'm just
What are
super
you doing
excited
right
about
now?
that. Sorry, what was that?
Dollar? What are you si- what is that?
What is what?
Dollar cost
Oh,
averaging.
dollar cost averaging. So essentially what that means, apparently we're a financial podcast now. Um
Well, I mean, you kind of went on a tangent. I feel like if we didn't
yeah.
fully
Yeah.
explore it,
Basically dollar cost averaging is instead of buying a bunch of something at once, say like I want to buy Berkshire Hathaway, instead of buying, well, I mean that's a pretty expensive example, so it's kind of hard to dollar cost average into something like that. Let's just look at crypto because it's very easy to dollar cost average into because you can put as much money in as you want at any time. So basically, instead of putting in, let's say, instead of putting in $500 in like at once, you put in like I don't know, you put in $100 for for 5 months, or a better way of doing it in reality, you're looking at a bigger time frame than 5 months. So like you want to take your pool that you're investing and divide it around the whole time frame that you're going to be investing. So like if you're going to be doing let's just say $1,200 because that's easy. If let's say my time frame's 2 years and I want to invest $1,200 in 2 years, then I'm doing $50 a month for 2 years. And I'm not gonna like put more of that or less than that, but it's $50 a month for 2 years, and then I'll have my 1,200 invested. And basically what that does is gives you the average of the highs and the lows of the market throughout that period, so that you don't have to waste your time and energy trying to time the market, because you will not time the market. You will not. You will fail. You can't you can't time the market. It's just not like you can get lucky, but you can't know when to invest and actually time it unless like you've got some insider info on some certain stock that's you're illegally trading. So you can't really like there's no legitimate way to guess when a stock's going to go up. So that like dollar cost averaging into something like that, into a position that you're going to hold long term, is the ideal way to go. And especially in a situation that we're in right now, because we're in a state of the market that is super bearish. Everything's going down and there is no upside in the foreseeable future. So it's a perfect time to be dollar cost averaging in on a long time frame, because say we're going to be in this bear market for another year, then we've got 12 months of downside ahead of us. That means that we've got that means all the money that we put in for the next 12 months, it's going to go down in value. And so that you just got to be willing to accept that. Like the short term, nobody knows what the fuck's going to happen. Anything, as soon as you buy something, expect it to go down in value in the short term. But when you start looking at the long term, that's when perspectives start shifting. Everything starts building on itself. That's what dollar cost. That's my long spiel about what dollar cost averaging in. But essentially, yeah, I've started dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrency just because it's another avenue of the market that is another way to diversify. That's simply it. Next stop for me is real estate, but I'm gonna need a lot of money for that. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but yeah, that's the next step. But
I thought don't you own a property already?
no, I own like a percentage of like not legally, but in like unofficially, I own like 10% of like this house and the house up at the cabin. But that's only because of like how I pay my dad rent to live here. And so it's like he takes out a chunk of that and puts that towards bills, and the other chunk is towards like the real estate. So essentially half of my rent is like a mortgage that's locked up, and the other half is just like going to him for expenses. But yeah, so unofficially, I technically own a fraction of real estate, but not realistically, no, and certainly not legally. It's not in my name or anything like that.
Ah, cool.
It's cool. It's definitely a really nice situation that I've worked out with my dad. But the only issue is that, which actually sort of brings into another point that we were thinking that I had listed here, is the fact that we were trying to get this place cleaned up in order to sell it, but we sort of missed the prime market to sell, because like I said earlier, everybody's trying to sell the real estate right now because real estate's gone through the roof in the last 2 years or so. So everyone's trying to get rid of their house with the profit they can lock in before inflation rates start getting hiked up and then housing prices start dropping. But we sort of missed the boat on that. My point is, I'm probably going to have to look into actually moving out into like whatever at some point here, but it's being pushed back because, like I said, we missed the market this year, so we're probably gonna sell into the strength of the new year New Year in 2023, I guess, or at least try to. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to figure out something at some point, and I'm probably just, I don't know, I do not want to rent, so I'm gonna do my best I can to secure something like an apartment or maybe like a small piece of land up by the cabin. I'm not gonna say the area because I don't want to localize myself like that, especially if it's gonna be somewhere that I'm moving to. But it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to start making more money because so I'm either gonna yeah, I'm either gonna have to go back to work or figure something out. Need the Twitch to blow up or something.
I'm in a debate right now where I'm genuinely debating on trying to buy a piece of property from the city. And I say piece of property, but it's it's like about 5 feet. It's like a 5 by 5 area, 5 by 5 square. It's not, no, maybe it's like, sorry, no, it's probably like 5 by 10 rectangle.
Why?
I'm
Why do you
I'm
want a
trying
five
to
by ten rectangle of land from
I'm
the
trying to
city?
pick up from the city because so basically like in the back of my basement suite, right? There's a laneway, and in the laneway, like off of the laneways, is garages for like everybody's house, like the back of their house. And in the back of my house, like my landlord's house, he built a parking spot so his tenants have one spot. And right adjacent to that is a little inlet that apparently is part of the laneway, but someone has always parked a car there just because parking is so bad, and it's like set up like a little parking spot. So there's always been a car parked there even before we moved in. And now, for some reason, like one of the neighbors like around here who also use the laneway have complained that there's a car parked there because they said it makes it difficult for them to turn around in the laneway. They just are, yeah, they're just upset that a vehicle is parking there, and we're not really sure why. But anyway, they called, complained, and bylaw came knocking on my door saying you can't park there. And then we just said there's always been a car parked there, and we were told we could. And then they're like, "Who told you?" And we just like said one of the owners of like the house that's connected basically to that side of the laneway. And then they're like, well, they're wrong. It's owned by the city, and like you could be towed for parking there. So then we're like, okay, whatever. We just didn't park there. But literally the next day, another one of like someone else in the laneway parked there. Like after we moved our car the next day, someone else just started parking in that spot. And we're like, what the hell? This is stupid. And I was like, that's just dumb how we got in shit for parking there. And then the next day we like go and move our cars and someone else does the same thing we got in shit for and are paying no repercussions for it. So I said, fuck it. When they move their car, I'm gonna put my car there. And that's
Well,
what I did. Well,
it sounds like whoever's putting their car there is the person who called the bylaw on you.
I know. And guess what? After they left, I put my car there, and 20 minutes later, bylaw showed back up and was like, your car's parked here. You're gonna get a ticket. You gotta move it. You gotta move it. And I told bylaw, I'm like, listen, if I don't park there, someone else does. And
Well,
they're like, what do you
but
mean?
like, I mean, like, there's nothing you can't tell bylaw just like let me do this because they're doing it, but you can
I
certainly
know,
call bylaw on them.
I know. So, but this is what I told bylaw. I was just
Okay.
like, someone is going to park there. I don't understand like why you come here when it just so happens to be me that's parking there. Because I was trying to like
Right.
see if I could get bylaw to say who complained.
Right.
Essentially, is what I was trying to do. And then bylaw's like, well, who parked there? And I was like, it's the guy who drives this vehicle and like lives in this house. And then he was just like, well, they're not the ones who complained. And I'm like, oh, they're parking there and you don't come here when they park there. So like, what's the problem? It's like, listen, I don't care who's parking there. Whoever parks there is gonna get a ticket. And I was just like, do whatever you gotta do, man. Um, and he's like, well, can you move your car? I'm like, sure. Um, and sure enough, even yesterday, another car was parked there. So I told the guys that were parked there because they were in like they were like outside the back of their house in like the laneway. And I
Right.
was like, "Is this your car?" And then they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You can't park here." They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, I used to park here, and now anytime there's a car parked here, I got bylaw knocking on my door giving me shit because people are parking there and we're not allowed." And then he's like, "Really? Someone's calling bylaw?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he like looks at one of the other neighbors' house to see if they were around, like listening into the conversation and was just kind of hinting at what neighbor it was. And he's like, "Okay, I'll just move the car in the morning."
Yeah.
So I don't think it is the guys that have been parking there after my car was moved.
I think it is, because why wasn't bylaw called, and why would they have known to call bylaw when you were there? Like, they're like, if they're getting called that quickly over when you park there, and these guys are parked there for a day, that I don't know about that. I don't know
I
about
don't
that.
know. I don't know if they were there all day or if they just happened to get there around the time that I was there.
But
Because I'm
like,
not just
are
watching
you?
the spot all day.
But didn't you say like they keep parking there?
Yeah, they've parked there multiple times. It's just I don't know how long their car's staying there for. They also have garage and driveway space. So I don't
Yeah.
know if they're just leaving it there for a while someone else is like out, or if they took a different car out of the garage and didn't want to put it back in, or like,
Is it
yeah, I
like,
don't know.
is there driveway space empty?
No, like it's pretty full. Like they have a lot of vehicles. So what happens is they have two cars in the garage and then like three cars on the driveway. So I'm thinking if they want one of the cars that are in the garage, they'll like move a car out of the driveway, put it in that laneway spot, and then take the car out of the garage and then drive that, but leave the other car in the laneway spot until they get back to park back in the garage and then put the other car back on the driveway.
So do you only
But I
have
don't know.
one parking spot?
Or yes, that's like on my landlord's property. That's like not owned by the city. We only have one parking spot. But we
Well,
have two cars. Like me and my
oh,
roommate both drive.
I thought you said that didn't you say that you're using your girlfriend's car now?
Yeah, but either way, like there's still like if me and my roommate are both home, there's two vehicles here at least.
Oh, I for some reason I thought you lived with your girlfriend.
Oh no.
Wait. Okay, right. Fair enough.
Anyway, I want to buy that piece of the laneway from the city.
You should
Just so I have that extra
you
spot.
should not do that.
I would like to.
You should
And even like after I leave, I can just rent out that spot.
but I mean, yeah, I fucking go for it.
And anybody parked there, I can legally have them towed. It's my property. Stay off of it.
That sounds like such a human thing to do.
What do you mean?
Let's find this little problem and make it a big problem.
But it's not a little. I don't think you understand how bad parking is around here.
Well, the thing is, it's like it's a small problem compared to the problem that you're gonna make it. Because you said you're gonna move away, like you're just gonna keep it, and you're just gonna rent. You're just gonna charge people to park there. That's like, I mean, I guess that's providing a solution in a sense, but
Yeah,
it's not fixing anything. I
fixes
mean,
my problem.
I
If anything, it fixes everybody's problem. Uh, it gives an opportunity to have another parking spot in the laneway. Think that's the thing we need around here is more parking. I don't think you understand how bad parking is. If you come home anytime after like 6 o'clock, you will not be able to find a way to legally park around like the neighborhood. Like it just fills up. It's like everyone will come home from work, rush to get a parking spot, and won't move their car until they leave for work in the morning.
yeah, I mean that sounds like my neighborhood too, honestly.
So if you like need to park on the side of the road, you're like parking by fire hydrants, you're like parking in intersections. you're just doing what you can. Otherwise, it's like you're walking like I don't know, like 2 kilometers to get back home. But the point I'm trying to make is I just wanna actually I wanna know how much that piece of land would cost to buy off of the city. Or can you even do that? Like, is that something I can do? Like everything has a number.
Yeah, it'll probably be a stupid price though.
But it's not gonna be like the price of like land to build a house on. A
It would
small parking spot.
it would be more than it's worth.
For
Like
now.
it wouldn't be worth doing.
Well, like land is always an investment, isn't it?
Yeah. Picking 5 by 10 square plot in an alleyway is not prime real estate, I don't think. But like when they develop that land and some developer wants to turn it into something else, then yeah, you might be able to make some money on that. But
Yeah.
just as well as any other piece of real estate that you could find. But you could also but you just can't use it for anything other than parking.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
I guess
like,
you could try and turn it into a little side income thing. I still
like,
think it's
there's
going to be
no
a
way it's
ridiculous
gonna be
price.
there's no way it's gonna be more than 30 grand.
I don't know. I've never bought a piece of land like that before. I've never bought any land before.
Yeah.
I
But
like
30 grand would also be a little ridiculous.
I mean,
30 grand
yeah,
is
but
ridiculous?
also the whole buying that plot of land is pretty fucking ridiculous. So I feel like it wouldn't be a reasonable number regardless of what the norm would be.
Or like if I explain the situation, be like, hey, I live here, need parking.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
And I feel like I could get approved for a 30K mortgage. Pretty small one.
More reasonable than getting it for a car.
You're not wrong. Although I would be able
Are
to
you
do more with
sure?
a
I
car
do
than
like to be right. Are you sure you want to confirm that I'm right here?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll give you that one. For what it's worth, you're a pretty smart guy.
Oh, I don't know if you're being sarcastic right now. I don't know how to feel about that.
No, dude, you know what you're doing. You make good decisions, and they normally work out in your favor. You seem to have everything figured out.
I mean, thank you, but I don't feel the same way. I feel like I don't have everything figured out.
Well, maybe that's a conversation for or I don't know. Do you want to get into that? Should we?
I
What's on your
mean,
mind, man?
I'm not sure if we might need to be wrapping up soon.
Oh yeah, let's leave it on a little cliffhanger. Next episode, we can dive into Liam's brain.
How long have we been going?
I don't know where I'm at.
I think we should cut it.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, thanks for watching, sticking around. Appreciate it. Check out our YouTube if that's not where you're listening now. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Listen to a few episodes. You can leave a review. And check out our website, which will be linked in the description if you're on YouTube.
Oh, apparently you say thanks for watching. Said it that
What do you
time.
mean?
You said thanks for watching this time.
Do I not normally?
Thanks for listening.
They're not watching.
Oh.
That was a good end right there. That just
Should I change it? I can do it again.
every time it's always the questioning after. It's not. At least it's not that. Have we started yet?
Yeah, that's gotten better.
Should I do I need to save my audio?